Okay, this video is to kind of get you started, to help you through exercise 4.2 on page 186. Um, Start with your layers file that you created last week. Uh, there's no need to recreate layers, every time we do a drawing, once you learn how to do it. But start with it, set your limits as instructed in the textbook to 2217, and your grid spacing to 1. And then you'll have your layers up here that you can work with. Okay. Um, it says to set your running object snaps. So we'll come down here and go object snaps, and we want to make those settings because it kind of goes along with how we're going to do the drawings. Okay. So make those object snap settings, and we want to turn off the snapping reference, the auto snap. Let's turn that off so you can see how some of these things work in practicality as we're doing a drawing. And I'll show you the difference between the two. But we use object snap tracking to kind of get from one view to another view so we don't have to measure all the time. And we'll do this, often we'll use a reference line or a projection line up here, and it shows it kind of grayed out in the textbook. And so I'm going to go ahead and draw that in. Um, we really don't need it that much in this drawing, but and the other one, which I'm going to show you later, um, we will. So I'm going to switch to my construction layer, and I'm going to start the construction line command, and I'm going to choose angle, and I want it at a 45-degree angle, and it's asking me through the point, and we could track off of those if we wanted to. We want it to, it's going to be at the intersection of our top view and our side view. And I just counted the dots, and I know it's at 13.9 absolute value. Okay. And so that gets my projection line. Now, the location of that, if we were to think about the corner of our front view, it can come off of the corner of the front view, but then that means the distance between the top view and the front view will be the same as the distance between the front view and the side view. Sometimes that's okay, sometimes it's not okay. It doesn't always work that way. Okay, so I've got this big long construction line. So use your break at point to kind of trim that thing out a little bit. And I'll go ahead and do the top also up here. Oh, it didn't break it. And that just means I don't have such a big old long line going out there. So the way that we would use this is in doing, in doing drawings, if we're using construction lines a lot, then and I'm going to say horizontal construction line. If I put one here and I put one here, and let's just say we had something in the middle here. I don't have anything snapped to, so let's see, we'll go to a midpoint object snap. Okay, and now I can go construction line again and go vertical, and where they intersect here, that gives me the locations down here in the side view, or I could do side view up and go over to the top view. Okay, so that's one way to use construction lines in doing a drawings. Now we can use object snaps to do that. I'm going to stay on that layer, so I'm going to go line, and if I do a temporary tracking point from here over to there, and then that starts my line, and then I can come down and draw my construction line. Okay, so there's another way to do it. So construction lines help us because they're on a layer, and we can turn that layer off, and we don't really need it, but it's there because in some of the classes, the drawings get pretty complicated, and you have to use construction lines to create the drawings. You can't just project and track. So, but if we were to finish this one out, we can go to our visible layer. We can go line, and I'll go a temporary track from here, and I can draw that one. Okay, and so if I repeat that, track point from here, and that pretty much does the top view. Okay, so if I do the same thing over here on the side, okay. Now, so you're seeing how that one works. If I turn auto snap back on, and I'm gonna do the hidden line here. So let me just change over to the hidden layer. And if I go hidden line, and I can come here and I can just hover my mouse there, and then I start dragging across, and you see it kind of auto tracks that snap, okay, to create that. All right, now I don't know if you noticed it or not, but I had snap mode, snap to grid turned off, excuse me, and my ortho mode turned on because everything I'm drawing is vertical and horizontal. So that will, I mean, this is a pretty simple drawing right here with this one. Now let's look at 4.2C. This one is a little bit different, and I'm not going to do the whole thing here for you, but let's if we look at the putting the circle right here. So I'm going to go back to my visible layer, and I can I am going to, let's see, on this one, I'm going to turn my midpoint snap back on, okay? And I'm going to go with my circle center radius, and I'm going to go snap from this midpoint, and I'm going to come across 1.5. And then I'll set my radius to be 0.5. Okay. And so just to check that, let's just put a line in here because I've got ortho mode turned on. Okay, so it is at 180 degrees, so it is on the center point there. So that's, that's that thing. Then to get it over here into the side view, we'll do the same auto tracking. To create that, you can do offsets. You could draw it again. We could go offset there, and I didn't type it. I could have typed in the distance. I knew it's going to go from the top to the bottom, so I just click that and click that, and it copies it down. Okay. Center lines for right now. Let's draw center lines, and we can go. Okay, so let's go. We'll track from that to start with. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't click the. Okay, and then we'll just take the center lines and we'll kind of stretch them out a little bit. And so we want to add like 1/4 of an inch to both ends. Okay. And then you kind of do the same thing on your circle here. Projecting views to get it up into the top view, I can draw my circle here also. So I didn't want that one. I want this one. I'm on the wrong layer. Okay, and so now I need to know where to put it, up here in this view. So, uh, you know, there's a number of different ways that we can do this. We can do, you know, construction lines vertical, and then come up here with horizontal construction lines, and that would give me the location for the hidden line in my top view up here. So there's a number of different ways, and the object snaps just we use those as a tool to get us through how to best draw. And you just have to draw and practice with those things to kind of get a feel for how they work. Anyway, okay, so you're going to do all three of these drawings in exercise 4.2. You're going to save them as 4.2a, 4.2b, 4.2c. Put your lines on the correct layers. Go ahead and put center lines in. We haven't gone into how to use a center line tool that's on your home tab panel, so don't use that tool. Just draw the line on the center layer, okay? And then submit those in the drop boxes in Blackboard.